What is up, YouTube? It is showtime, and I just want to give a quick shout out for the sponsor of today's video, BUYMMOG.com. They offer the cheapest in-game coins, items, and collectibles for titles like NBA 2K26, Monopoly Go, Madden NFL 26, Diablo 4, and more. They deliver in under 5 minutes with 100% safe transactions, and they even offer a 24/7 live chat support feature backed by a money-back guarantee and over 1,500 5-star reviews. So I'd really appreciate if you guys check this out. Do not forget to use my support code Showtime for a 6% discount off of your first order. Once again, my creator code or support code is Showtime for a 6% discount off your order. Check out mmog.com. Thank you for the sponsor of today's video, and let's get straight into it. Now, for the first build, I'm going to show you guys what I believe to be the best center build, or better yet, I just feel like the meta play style and where the game is at. This is the #1 way to play the game. Like I said, I'm really tailoring this list not to just what's the best build, but what's the best play style, because technically it doesn't really matter necessarily per se the build, it's about how you use it. So this is the #1 center build for the #1 meta play style. This is the 6'7" popper build that I did post not too long ago. I'm actually gonna have 2 versions of this build in this video, one that's the regular version and one if you have 8 cap breakers, because if you have 8 cap breakers specifically, you can make it like way better. I don't even want to say way better, but it does get a little bit of an upgrade in the builder. I'm going to show you guys. I think this is meta, like using 2 6'7s who have switch all defense is completely meta. As you guys know, perimeter defense in my opinion is just pretty cooked. Leaving your lockdown to play on the ball defense just doesn't work. They end up getting fried anyways when you leave your 6'6" lockdown. I think having 2 6'7s who can both have good defensive rebound ratings and can also switch all, play on the ball, and also be able to grab boards and play the paint and play the lanes is the #1 way to play this game. I'm going to show you guys the build to use if you guys are going to play the game that way as a big man. So for the position, you guys want to go power forward. The height, you guys actually want to go 6'7", as I mentioned. And then with the weight, you guys want to max that out all the way. And then with the wingspan, you guys can also go max. This is the custom template for the build, and just follow as I'm doing. It's pretty simple. For the standing dunk, you guys actually want to go 72. And that's all you need for rise up bronze. Keep in mind, you guys will be slipping every once in a while. It's going to be important that you guys be able to slip and just get a quick dunk under the rim and rise up. And a 72 standing dunk are going to allow you guys to unlock the animations needed to do so. Pretty simple stuff, not much more else to the finishing. Keep in mind, for the most part, you guys will be slipping and popping. So a large part of your offensive arsenal is going to be doing that rather than having these crazy dunks at the rim all the time. And then with the 3-point, you guys want to go max. This is very important. Like I said, you guys are popping. I'd also recommend for your build specialization, you guys actually go shooting so that you guys can get use your max +1, max +2s in this category, in this area, to get these up. And then the regular max +1s and max +2s you guys have in the build for your build, you can use elsewhere. So that's what I would do. For the actual shooting cap breakers, I mean, if you guys already have it, you guys can manipulate this, put this 3-ball down here in the builder and then bring it back up using the shooting cap breakers from the build specialization. I personally don't have my build specialization done yet, so I'm going to use my cap breakers from my shooting cap breakers that they're going to give me for my build specialization, use it in my physicals. I don't know if you guys are aware that's how it works. You don't have to use them in the designated area that the build specialization says you do. You can also use them in your physicals if you wish. So how I'm going to do it is like this. Go ahead, max your 3-ball, very important. And then for the pass accuracy, all you guys want to do is go 71. 71 is good. It's more than enough. You guys are going to get the main badges that you need, which is Dimer and Break Starter. If you guys want in the future, I have some extra cap breakers. Feel free to bring your pass accuracy from a 71 to a 75. That will grant you the Break Starter badge on silver. That's a big if you wish. You really don't need it. I've personally been using 71 pass accuracy on my popper builds, and they've worked amazing. Obviously, an advantage of being like an inside or even being a footer is that you would have access to a higher pass accuracy rating, but those are just luxury things that you get for using those kind of builds. And with the defense, this is where it gets kind of controversial and very important. You guys want to bring your perimeter defense straight up to a 92 perimeter defense. Perimeter defense is absolutely cooked. Being able to play on the ball is very important. Having good switch all defense, good hedge defense, good PNR defense is key. It's king right now. Anybody with the best PNR defense is going to win the game. Especially when you're playing competitive in the stage. So having a 92 perimeter defense is not even a question for me. I made sure that I get that. With the steal, I actually went 85, which is pretty much as we can get and still allow the build to be good in other areas. And it works very well. Steals aren't that great this year. I noticed that you don't get a lot of plucks. Plucks are a very rare thing, but lanes, even those aren't too great, but you can definitely get some good lane steals if you're playing the lane with an 85 steal or greater, I find. So 85 steal is what you need, and then you guys will actually only get access to a 78 block, and you guys will get access to the interior defense at a 66, which gives you the paint patroller only on bronze. I know this is probably not favored by many of you guys because you guys are probably used to having high block center builds, but I personally went up against centers using 78 block, and they still get a lot of blocks simply because they're fast and they can actually run and get there to actually trigger blocks. I find that blocks trigger better when you're actually quick enough to use them, if that makes sense. Right after I finish up this build, I'm actually going to show you guys the second way to make this build. If you guys have 8 cap breakers, which is going to allow you guys to have an 84 block and a 70 perimeter defense, interior defense, which gives you the paint patrol on silver, and still keep your build the same in all the other areas. So that's a very OP way to make it. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. Only if you have access to 8 cap breakers, you can do that. With the defensive rebound, you guys want to go 91. Make sure instantly, if you guys have access to 5 cap breakers, you bring this defensive rebound from a 91 to a 96. Very important. That way you guys will get access to Rebound Chaser and Box Out Beast on Hall of Fame. And it's very important that you guys use your max +1, max +2s to get these 2 badges to legend. So important that you guys are getting rebounds for your team, especially as someone that is 6'7" and you're on the shorter side. And with the offensive rebound, you guys just want to go 80, which is fine. On the offensive end, keep in mind for the most part, you're slipping, which doesn't require rebounds, or you're popping, which doesn't require much offensive rebounds either because you're literally outside popping. So this is the perfect setup for your rebounding. Now for the physicals, this is pretty much like, besides the perimeter defense being high, the whole reason you're even making your build 6'7", you guys are going to max out both your speed and agility. It's so important that you guys are quick off the ball so that you guys can have great PNR defense and also be quick enough to get some good slips and to get your team some open threes. So like being quick off the ball is so important this year. It's different than other years because like last year the meta was being 7 foot, which didn't require much off ball movement, but this year having off ball movement, being able to play good off ball defense, sides, all that other good stuff is very important. Then with the vertical, you guys want to make sure you guys go 90. That is not negotiable. It's the only way you guys are going to get rebounds. And pogo stick legend is actually really nice this year. It's going to give you guys some good rebound and block attempts. Like everybody's jumping nowadays because these guards are fading in the corner and all this crazy stuff. Contest system is not that great either. So pogo stick is actually pretty useful this year. And last but not least, you guys can go bring your strength to a 91, just so you guys get access to brick wall and immovable enforcer, which are 2 very important badges. I'd recommend using your max +1, max +2s to get your brick wall even higher, but it works very well on gold. I personally just like having it on Hall of Fame or greater. And this is pretty much the build. Now I want to quickly show you guys the cap breaker version of this build. I think it's worth including simply because all the stats you're seeing on screen right now you will keep, except you will have a higher block and a higher interior defense, which gives you access to paint patroller on silver, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would like. It's nice to have a higher block rating on your big man builds. All you guys have to do pretty much is bring your speed down to 85. Keep in mind you need 8 cap breakers to do this. You guys want to use 3 cap breakers to bring this speed back to an 88, and then you guys still want to use your 5 cap breakers that I mentioned on your defensive rebound to bring that to a 96 defensive rebound, so you guys can still get your rebound chaser and your box out beast on Hall of Fame. Once you guys do this, you guys can also bring down the speed with ball because it's connected to the speed, and make sure it's at 85, and then use all your ticks to bring the block to an 84 and then the interior defense to a 70. I'm missing something here. I'm going to figure out what that is. There's something wired to the speed that I forgot to oh yeah, sorry, you do have to bring your 3 ball down by 1. There's no difference between 80 and 81, literally no difference in takeovers, no difference in badges, no difference in animations, any of that. So this is how I'm gonna do it. You guys get an 83 ball, and then you guys want to bring the interior defense up to 70, and this is pretty much the build. You guys will get paint patroller on silver. So you have some extra ticks, feel free to use it where you please. Doesn't really matter, just throw it on mid-range. This is the second version of the build that requires you to have 8 cap breakers, just so that you guys have better defense. I personally would recommend getting 8 cap breakers. How I've got mine is I'm crew levels, lifetime challenges, I'm level 40, I'm also starter 2, and I already have access to 5. I have access to 6 actually, and once I reach crew level 30 and I reach starter 3, I will have 8 cap breakers. I'm waiting till I get my 8 cap breakers just to make it this way. It's that important to me to have my block and interior defense up there. So this is pretty much it for build number 1, play style number 1, 2 6'7" on the ball, and having that 6'7" popper. low-key meta. Not even low-key, it's low-key, just not high-key the meta. Everybody's doing it. This is build number 1, and nonetheless we're gonna get straight into best build number 2. The best build you guys can use, best build slash play style, you guys get the point. So for build number 2, we have the 7-foot center build. Now keep in mind, the only way to get away with using this build and actually making it work is to have it sit corner. So on defense, you want to make and guard the corner. Whoever is sitting corner, which is typically the lockdown, you want to have this build sitting corner on defense. And then on offense, you're running a regular pick and roll. The screens on this hit amazing. The rebound animations you get are just insane. No one is going to get a rebound over you when you're using this build. You want to sit corner, and when the ball goes up, meaning the shot goes up, you swing out the corner and you can just grab the board, and whoever's playing PNR defense can just box out, and it's a free rebound every time. This is literally was the meta all 2K25, and I think this is still such a very playable, usable build. This play style is still so broken. I'm not seeing it too common. I'm still seeing a lot of people use double 6'7s or having 6'6" on the ball. I think using this alongside a 6'7", so how it would work is this build would be in the corner. You have a 6'4" guard, specifically a 6'4" guard with high perimeter defense rating. I've been seeing people make like these 6'4"s with like a 92 perimeter defense. So you have him on the ball with a 6'7" bullin, meaning a 6'7" lockdown with a very high defensive rebound hedging, or they're even like playing switch all defense or sides. And you have this sitting in the corner, this bad boy. I'm telling you, this is arguably the most OP way to play the game, and this is the build you guys want to use to do so. So for the position, you guys want to go 7 center. The height, you guys want to go 7 foot. The wingspan, you want to max it. And for the weight, you guys can go ahead and go 263 pounds. This is personally how I would do it. And we're going to move into the ticks. So off rip, you guys are going to get access to all the contact dunks you need. You guys get 90 standing dunk. You guys are 7 foot, so you guys meet the threshold to get contact standing dunks. And then you guys also want to go 87 for the driving dunks. So you also get access to contact dunks, driving contact dunks. So finishing is literally A tier. You're literally going to be able to finish at the basket at will, no problems. You guys can, all you guys have to do is put your analog stick down, flick it down. That'll trigger the contact dunk animations, which is so super easy this year. So much easier than going up, down. You just pull it down. Make sure you pull it in the green window. Because you have these higher dunk ratings, it's going to be super easy. Finishing, A1. For the shooting, go ahead, max out your 3-point to an 80, or sorry, 78. Now, personally, I've already forgot to mention this. What I've seen people do is they, or even what I did, I put the wingspan down by 1. Or sorry, was it 1? Yeah, some people put the wingspan down by 1 just to get access to that 83 ball. That's up to you if you want to do that. I'm pretty sure the reason why is because you get access to this takeover. You get access to sharpshooter takeover, which is actually going to be so OP on this build. So if that's something you're interested in, because as you guys can see, this takeover, you need an 83 ball and a 75 mid-range. The mid-range you can pretty much just get through cap breakers later on, which is really simple to get. I'm pretty sure it only takes 1 cap breaker to get there. If you guys want this sharpshooting takeover, go down 1 on your wingspan and make the 3-ball 80. If you don't care about the takeovers, then just go max wingspan. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I guess just for the sake of the video, I'll switch it up and I'll actually do that. So we're going to go down 1 inch on the wingspan, giving us access to an 83 ball, and that will also give you access to the sharpshooting takeover later on, which is super nice. Having popping abilities and having sharpshooting takeover as a popper with the contact dunks just sounds super OP. And then with the pass accuracy, you guys can go ahead and go 93, which is going to give you access to all the passing badges you need, and they're all Hall of Fame. Keep in mind, you guys get Break Starter and Dimer, which are the 2 most important badges when you're doing when you're playing 3v3 or any mode at that. Having these is super nice and OP. If you really want, you guys can even go 87, but I say go overkill. You guys have all the extra ticks in the world. For those of you guys who don't know, whenever you make your build a footer, 7 foot, the game just gives you a bunch of attributes to work with. It gets us to make up for you being so tall and being weak in frame because you're not as quick. They just give you, you can just have your way with these builds. Like you can just make a do-it-all build so easily. So I go 93 pass accuracy. Now for the steal, you guys want to go 53, and then all you guys need is one cap breaker, and one cap breaker will bring it to 60 steal. And you want to do that to get access to interceptor bronze, which is going to be important because you're going to be sitting corner and being able to play the lane and be able to get steals on the lockdown when they throw the ball to the corner. It's a must. So this is not negotiable. I highly recommend you guys do this, and you guys can manipulate the cap breakers a bit, save some points in the builder by going 53 in the builder, using one cap breaker to go straight from 53 to 60, giving you interceptor on bronze. And then with the pass accurate, the perimeter defense, it's important in my personal opinion, so you guys can get an actual contest in the corner. You know, if they swing it to the corner, you guys want to be able to get a contest, have a perimeter defense, and I say go 62 because that will give you access to the immovable enforcer badge on bronze, which is actually important and works very well this year. And then with the block, you guys can go ahead and go 84. 84 is all you need. Like, you really could get away with lower because you're so tall in frame. You're going to get all the good block animations that you need. I actually dropped a version of this build where you actually get a 73 ball using cap breakers, and then it gives you like way higher block and interior, but that's really overkill in my personal opinion. 84 block, 71 perimeter interior defense with paint patrol on silver as a 7-footer with this kind of wingspan is more than enough, and you'll be able to play all the defense in the world with that. With the offensive rebound, you guys want to go 94, and make sure you guys use 5 cap breakers so that you can go from a 94 to a 99 offensive rebound, giving you guys access to box out beast and rebound chaser on legend, which is so important. And it's kind of the whole reason you're going 7 foot, is to be able to get unlimited boards, unlimited offensive rebounds, giving your team second chance baskets at will so easily. And then with the defensive rebound, you guys can just go 85. If you wish to have it higher, you guys can manipulate the build to do that. I don't really see the point. You're 7 foot, and you're also going to have position more times than not on the defensive end of the court, because you guys can just kind of sit paint for the most part and just get free rebounds. And then with the speed, you guys want to max this out. Agility, this is the weak part of the build, not having speed, high agility, which is why you can only circumvent this issue by playing corner defense, sitting in the corner, staying out the way on defense. You're going to be assigned with the easiest task on the court, which is to guard the corner, as a way to circumvent the fact that you can't play much defense on this build. Now with the strength, you guys want to go 91, which gives you access to the brick wall on gold. If you guys wish, you guys can use cap breakers in the future to get this strength from a 91 to a 95. Being 7 foot and weighing this much makes all your screens very, very good. Like, your screens are hard body even with brick wall gold. You guys can even use max +1, max +2s to get your brick wall from gold to Hall of Fame or even legend. That's up to you guys. And then with the vertical, you guys want to make sure you max that out. And you guys, even after doing all of this, you guys still have some extra ticks left. Feel free to use it wherever you want. I personally don't care. The build is set and ready to go. You guys have your cap breakers to deal with your steal already. If you guys want, feel free to throw it on your free throw, because I can see this build being very usable in the 5v5, and this is pretty much the build. So like I said, very OP way to use this build is to have it sit corner, stay out of the way defensively, because that is a weak spot. You allow a guard with defensive abilities, and also obviously the ability to score on the other end of the court, and a 6'7" lockdown to back him playing on the ball. You stay out the way, and on offense, you're just setting screens, you're chilling. All your screens are going to hit. You can pop if you wish. If you do it this way, where you put the wingspan down one, you guys will have access to the shooting takeover, so your popping abilities will be very good. If you guys wish to slip or dunk on people, you guys have that option. Such an OP build, and it's just still OP, even more OP than last year, arguably, because of the game speed and how quick these 7 foot builds are able to move. With that being said, we're going to move into the third and the final center build. Third best way to play the game, third center build, best center build, whatever you want to call it. We'll quickly move into that. So for the last and final builds here, this is going to be the 6'9" inside. I want to give you guys a quick warning to anybody who does choose to use this build. Double teams are coming your way. Keep in mind, on these kind of builds, you're just kind of sitting paint. All you can do is slip. You can't pop and space the floor and create offense. So you're heavily relying on your guard to score, and that can make it very difficult, because any team with a brain playing competitively, they're going to see you can't shoot and double your lockdown, and all you can really do is watch. Now, the only way to circumvent this, because a lot of people are using insides and still finding success, they're pretty OP. They play very well on the court, is a couple of things. You have to set very good screens. You guys can set full court screens to kind of like get rid of the defender, the on-ball defender. before they even set up the double team, which will cause a mismatch between the guard and the center, and you can just have them fade. You guys got to try and use off-ball screens to kind of break up the double team. You guys can even get creative, set off-ball screens for the lock coming out of the corner so he can flare and get an open three. You guys got to really create offense, but passively. You can't do anything with the ball. Hit your slips. You know, if you're slipping and you're open, make your guard hit you, take your twos, and most importantly, get stops. You guys have to get stops because you guys just can't keep taking twos every possession while the other team is putting up threes. It's not going to work. So that's how you kind of circumvent using it inside. This is the first version I'm going to show you. This is the version that does not get contact dunks. I personally don't care for contact dunks because you're not really using it. When you're playing 3v3, you're playing competitively, you're setting screens, you're just slipping. You don't need contact dunks to slip. No one's even sitting under the rim half the time. So I personally see it as a waste. If you guys do want contact dunks, I'm going to quickly show you guys a version that does get it. But for a quick breakdown, 73 driving dunk, 81 standing dunk. This is all you need to slip. You're just setting a screen and slipping, finishing under the basket. That's all you need. You guys get an 87 pass accuracy, which is very important because you guys are going to get offensive rebounds and kick it back out to your teammates, which is then going to give them the opportunity to get free threes because you're passing to them off dimer. When you get defensive rebounds, you can throw it all the way down court to whoever you want with break starter. It's important that you guys have a high pass accuracy when you're inside because a lot of your efficiency is going to come from getting rebounds and passing it. That's creating offense in and of itself. Now with the defense, we have 85 perimeter, which is a must. Perimeter defense is so bad this year. Hedge defense is so important, and it's literally going to determine who wins the game. So this is the best perimeter defense you can possibly get for a 6'9", and you partner it with a 76 agility, so you guys get that on-ball menace on silver, and this is as good as it gets. You guys have to play with a lock who can hold his own, and you guys can hedge and do the best you can. This is as good as it gets for insides. I never go shorter than 6'9" for my insides, by the way. Like, you can have an inside that 6'7" who plays way better hedge defense, but I think having a 99 O board is the whole point of having an inside. Otherwise, you shouldn't have one at all. You should just go popper and make it 6'7". With the steal, you guys get an 85, so you guys can play the lane as best as possible. As you guys know, plucks don't exist, so you're not going to get on-ball steals, but lane is important. Getting stops as an inside is so very important. And then with the block and interior, 84 and 75, just so you guys get your paint patroller on silver. This is very important. Make sure you guys put 5 cap breakers on your 94 offensive rebound to get a 99. That way you guys will get rebound chaser and box out beast on legend. That way you guys can get O boards. O boards is extremely overpowered. Your guard is chucking up threes. You're grabbing every single rebound, throwing it back out to the lock who's sitting corner or to the guard who's dexing. Free threes all day. Defensive rebound, you guys already know you guys don't need much of that because you already have defensive positioning on the defensive end. You'll still be able to get boards. You guys have a 90 vertical, 95 strength, which is super OP. 95 strength is so OP. Like, I noticed the difference, me personally, on rebounds, screens, all of that. Remember, that's basically your #1 job on offense. It's to set screens and slip. Your screens have to be very hard. You guys have to be able to get your guard open as much as possible, especially if you're playing with a guard that's very talented offensively, which is what you should be doing when you're playing with an inside. Screens are everything. So a 95 strength is going to allow you to do that. You guys get a 76 agility and an 80 speed, and this is pretty much it for the build. Now, for those of you guys who wanted a contact dunk version of the build, I'm going to quickly show you guys that. I personally like this version more, me personally, because I don't use driving dunks and contact dunks, and I'll quickly show you guys that, and that will wrap up the video. So for those of you guys who do want contact dunks on your build, this is the way it's going to look. You guys just basically get the 89 driving dunk, which is going to give you access to the 1-hand and 2-hand contact dunks, the pro contact dunks, which is all you pretty much need. So there you guys have it. For those of you guys, if you do want it, me personally, I don't. The difference is too, you guys get less strength. You guys are going to have to get your cap breakers to get that 95 strength, which is important in my opinion. You can get away with 91 strength, obviously, but it's better to have 95. Everything else is pretty much the same after that. Not much of a difference, and that pretty much concludes today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I really appreciate you guys who made it towards the end of the video. Once again, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys hopefully in the next one.